Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yesterday I did a 45-minute video and my chair had pulled out my microphone attachment. So here we go again. I was so exhausted yesterday I couldn't start again. I just decided to do it today, which is Saturday, February 5th. So I guess I got a lot of hits on Twitter, and it looks like I got 942 hits on YouTube about the dream I had last night. What I was telling my friend is before I went to sleep, I even kind of in my head, remember I told my guides, look, if you want me to write a book, you're going to have to help me out because I'm not a writer. And that night I had a strange dream involving a friend. And I let that friend know the next day, I had the strangest dream about you. So this friend and I are talking. Somehow or the other, we start talking about her book. And then I say, oh, yeah, well, last night I told my guys, if you want me to write, because I'm no writer. And then she's like, I know who you can go to. And thus, it's been a year. I'm still working on it. It'll help when I don't do readings anymore, because I notice I'm a little bit wiped out. But, I need to focus more. My friend, Andre from Astrology Alert, he got me this ring that tells you what your activity is. It tells you, in fact, it said you're 5 foot something and you weigh something. It was like, hey, okay, I'll weigh that. Whatever you say. I was looking at the wrong numbers. And it's so funny because, and I'll let you know your heartbeat. It actually said I had a good sleep last night. And, but it'll say like, it'll notice I'm sitting around a lot, and it'll say, why don't you get up and stretch your legs? You only need 5.7 more miles to walk before you've done your daily. I'm like, honey, you got the wrong subject here. So finally, it just started saying, you know what? You need to get up off your fat rear and start moving around. So anyway, I've got it plugged in. I'm not wearing it now. It has to be charged. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that last night I started thinking about, because everybody's complaining about Merrick Garland. And I have faith in him. I do. And before I get into Merrick, may I also bring up something else? Now, Barr was no good. But remember when I first used to read on him and I said, at the end of the day, he'll do the right thing. Do you guys remember that? This is years ago when he first came in. I was very surprised what a lowlife he was. He did not stand up and for his dear friend Mueller's investigation. He did circle that and helped out Trump tremendously. So, but at the end of the day, he said there was no cheating and I'm leaving. But he also, they were just talking about John Kennedy said, Dante said that hell is a place for the people who knew wrong was going on, but did nothing about it. That's Barr. So he had a lot of bad cards. Okay, so let's get off of Barr. Let's go back to Merrick Garland. So I posted, you guys saw it. Of course, it just went off because I lifted up this 13 is very temperamental, you guys. So I dreamt I was in a room with Merrick Garland because I was thinking before I went to sleep, why is he taking so long? I keep holding you up, and why are you not showing the people that you're doing something? And I asked him, why haven't you thrown 45 in jail? Well, you guys, now that's weird for me to say that in the dream, because as you've known, I've always said he won't go to jail. I don't know if it's because he was an ex-president or he might get too sick to go in, but I've saw him getting before a judge and I saw all kinds of things being thrown at him, but I didn't actually see jail. But anyway, I asked him, why haven't you thrown 45 in jail? I mean, just his speech alone that he just had was inviting people to fight on his behalf because the racist people are after him. The one in Georgia and everything. Don't let them get me. Fight, fight. He's such a pussy. You fight. You go out there and fight. It's a shame for entertainment purposes only, but this was a true dream. He said they were slowly moving because if we throw 45 in jail, guns will be drawn and within our own country, unrest and hatred. He said 45 will not win this fight, moving with purpose. So there's a lot in that. Well, when I woke up thinking I have to remember this dream because I think I woke up like about 3 a.m. and sort of did a little note, went back to sleep and had a dream about Gerard Butler. And in the dream, I was not impressed with Gerard. He was hanging out and I was like, can you go home, please? But anyway, Merrick Garland, I felt, which is a weird feeling, okay? It was a visual, like octopus arms going and tapping into these little terrorist cells, dropping microphones. Like they're listening. They've got people going into these things, like the FBI does, or they have, what do you call them when they end up playing the part, but they're not really? What was his face? He did such a good job with that. Adam Driver was in it. Anyway, he pretended that he was a white man and he wasn't. It was a good show. And they had Adam Driver go in, hating everybody with the Ku Klux Klan. But that's what I was feeling. I was feeling like something major was going on within these cells. And I also told you before that I felt he couldn't quite trust everybody around him. But he really is by the book and he really wants everything to be dotted. I know that's a drag, you guys, but it just feels like he's going to definitely do something with Trump. Now, I'm not going to guarantee any time because times are not how they work over there, but I can see it, I can feel it, I can taste it and smell it. So 45 will get in trouble. And it just feels once that door opens, it continues and it continues and it continues. One thing after the other. And let me tell you something, Pence did not make that speech because he worries about America. He's 8 months too short, you know what I'm saying, to finally speak up. He did that because he found out what this September 6th, January 6th group knows, because they're talking to, and in fact, apparently they're not pleading the fifth, Pence's staff. So I think they came back and told Pence, look, they got a lot of stuff. And if I were you, I'd make sure I stay clear, because for some reason, Pence thinks he could still run for president. Nope. He would never win as president. Ted Cruz will never win as president either. I don't know why he thinks he could. Okay. I also wanted to tell you that I picked 2 winners yesterday, and I kept your little thing here because it's not fair for me not to give you your free 30-minute reading, which will happen in March. Susie G, area code 818. The other one is Tina C, area code 949. I think I've read even Tina before. But what you're going to do is you're going to write me at grindle9103@gmail.com, which I'll have on the bottom here, and just text me and say, I won the reading, and I'll schedule you for March. God, can you believe it's already going to be March? Okay, so I also wanted you to know, apparently Putin met with the Chinese leader. And I know that they were like acting like everything's cool. We got this covered, but it was real weird because my immediate hit was, and I'm not trying to downgrade it, but it feels like Putin was even saying to him, act like you care. Walk out with me. Let's seem like we're in this together. Because I don't think China is necessarily all that crazy about Russia. I don't think Russia has enough to offer them. It's all about the moolah. And the United States, doing business with the United States is more lucrative for them. But he's almost like, act like, we're in this together, like you got my back. And he said, sure, he'd do that. But I think he even advised him, don't go in there. Do not attack. So, okay. So anyway, so you guys had sent me a lot of questions. And I was able to get to some of the questions. You had asked me about the Nazi rallies in Orlando last week. People are really worried. And the Nazi thing is coming out. I see a lot of arrests though. And I'd be careful if I were them because, there's violent people on their side and there's violent people on the other side. It's almost like it brings up such a bad taste in certain people's mouths that they may go out and do something and run them down in some sort of way. That's what I get, but they are really feeling permission to do these things because they think they're infallible, like Trump is. Oh yeah, you guys aren't going to do nothing to me. Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be very, very good. And they'll still. I don't see them being gone. I see them going back into the cave. Okay, loaded question. What the heck's wrong with Republicans censuring Liz and Adam? And it's so weird. Donald Trump came out the next day of January 7th and said, these people need to be persecuted the full extent of the law. Then at that rally, I'm just going to give everybody carte blanche. I'm going to pardon everybody. And then, okay, thank you. They just told me that a lot of this is Trump telling them, you better, he's very mad that they're still working on that September, I keep saying September, that January 6th committee. And they're throwing like rocks at it. And I also feel like they're trying to do things like squirrel to take your eyesight off of it. But they know too much. That's what I heard. Ooh, they better be careful. That's all I got to say. I see actually Trump being very worried. I see Trump, and he usually doesn't worry. He usually can't see past his own lunch plate. Yeah, the Republicans know better. Dante said those who are in hell are the ones that knew it was wrong and did nothing about it. And that president of the Republicans, she's the one that came out and said they were all criminals. So they just don't want to be investigated because there's a whole bunch of people within Congress that are going to be cut because of what they're doing. They really don't, these guys better like lay low and stay safe until everything comes out. But there's a lot more information coming in. This is something. This is really going to be something. But the ones that love Trump won't even care. They won't listen to it. They're not in the least bit concerned about it. And then I did answer this question from KR. When do you see the American-Canadian borders opening to travel by car? It will happen again. And I know there's long waits, but I do see by the end of the year getting easier to go through. Thank God, pretty soon, there'll be other little stuff coming out, but nothing like before with any kind of virus. I answered this one too. Candace asked, just love your shows. Thank you, Candace. My question is, will there be government regulation in the near future around tuition caps for colleges to minimize the burden? And yes, and I felt it more with state colleges. They'll keep the prices down, not necessarily with universities, because although if they decide to get money from the government, they might work on that. But yeah, they will get caps to try to keep it down a little bit. I don't know about the most important races for 2022 yet. My friend's going to give me the list, and then I'll sit down and tell you who's going to win. I've already posted on my YouTube that I did a spread on Cincinnati and LA Rams, and it looks like the LA Rams are going to win. Not the LA Rams, Cincinnati's going to win. Sorry. And the reason it's so weird, because the last time where I had no skin in the game, the last time I did this, the LA Rams was against, maybe it was New England or something. And I said, oh, the New England team's going to win. Oh, I got so much hate mail. So please don't send me hate mail. Just know I just go by what I see. The cards for the Bengals was fantastic. The bagels, the cream cheese bagels. Anyway, it just, that's what I got. Okay. And I could be wrong. Don't take it to the bank. Don't put money down on that. Okay. Oh, it looks like my producer of my cooking shows has finished it, my last adventure from last weekend. And listen, I got a new stand for my phone, and I'm going to not be so nosebleed up in the air. My camera angle sucks, and half the time you can't see what I'm stirring or cooking. I'm so sorry. It's very rinky dink, but I'll get it into place. So these are just playing with it. Okay. And then we're going to get into the president's recipes I'm going to be using. Okay. Will Ohio, I did read this. Regina asked, will Ohio ever turn blue again? And yes, and I do see a stop to the gerrymandering. As you know, the courts just decided that North Carolina has to knock it off with the gerrymandering. And I almost feel all these gerrymandering things, the Democrats need to be careful too, because they're going to stop that stuff. They're going to stop that stuff. There's going to be more people coming out voting Democrat, you guys. They're just tired of the nonsense. You know, by the time we have our voting, things will be more comfortable. You know, look at the job rates. Things will get cheaper. And once that virus is under control, everybody's like working, and it's very good. It's very good. Okay, thank you. I just have to tell you that I just heard we are going to have more UFO interaction and or sightings than ever before in this next year or so. I don't know why. Go ahead. Why? It's like preparing us for what? You know, there was other civilizations before this one. Atlantis feels like they were tapping into something they shouldn't, so they had to be destroyed. But I feel like they want people to wake up, like they're coming in. They don't have to like laser us or get their uniforms on and come down. They can talk to us telepathically. So I just want you to know, don't be frightened. And they're making their selves known even more. In the evening times, if you go out and look up at the sky, they're there. And we just want you to know, you know, the earth shifting is taking place. So there's some drastic changes. And the more you're connected to your higher source, the more you're going to know or get the feeling of, you know, I need to sit here, or I need to stand there, or I need to move over here. Because there is some stuff. I was telling a client this morning, you know, there's a lot of people that are alive, but they're unconscious. You know, they want to be connected, but they just can't seem to get out of their own way. And the only way you can do that is by being quiet, breathe, and just think of nothing, go into the nothingness. And that's where the connection is. So, they just said they're coming in more. So can you give me messages to give to everybody? Is there anything I can do? Yes. This is weird. Okay, so they just said new specks of light coming from the sky. So is that ships? Yes. We are here already with you. We live in the earth. we have created man with our own DNA, but you're not quite ready to take in our knowledge because there's just too many people who would use it for the wrong way. I wonder who that is. You know, it's just stupid, like when people fire on them and there's people's missiles, and in the Vietnam War, there was a bunch of stories about UFOs and they were shooting at them, and look, they took all those bullets, they shot at them and shot it right back. Actually, it's like, don't mess with us, don't cross this line, but we are here to help you. And we are not interested in man destroying himself. You've already killed millions of people in World War II. Millions. Millions are dying. But in the awareness and the collective consciousness, we sit there, we wait for you. We will give you information as needed. In the meantime, be joyous within your own human life. This is a beautiful life. It's almost like I see that Starman thing with Jeff Bridges, where he said the one thing about you humans is when things are at the worst, you're the finest. That's that energy I'm getting. Like, you know, they're beyond us, but they sort of envy us with that emotional love that we carry. How many SCOTUSes will this administration place on? I feel it. I know we've already done one, and I think Sterling said it too, but I felt 2 more. So there's 3 total. Okay, hold on. Of course, it kicked off again. All right, here we go. Oh, this is a wrong one. Sorry. That's about my dream. Here we go. Somebody had asked me about numbers. I'm not a number person. I know you can Google numbers so you can see, you know, what certain numbers mean. I'm not a number person. I know it means something, but I'm not a number person. I'm not an astrology person either. I don't know if what goes into what. I have no idea. Okay. Is Merrick Garland going to join the Supreme Court? I did answer this yesterday, and it was a no. Merrick Garland is taking this job he has seriously, and he's working hard, but I'm feeling like, no, he's not going to go into the Supreme Court. He would be so good at it too. That's what I got. I could be wrong. Okay. Entertainment value only. Okay. When does California get more rain? When does California get more rain? Hold on, you guys, 1 second. Hi, you guys. I took a teeny little break because my son was calling me. Like I told you, his girlfriend finished my video, so I just have to take a look. I said, I'm in the middle of the show. So I didn't say it like that. So anyway, is there going to be more rain in California? And I heard yes. I'm almost feeling May is going to be pretty rainy. Definitely yes. And God bless all those people suffering from the cold. Somebody on Twitter this morning, her pipes had broke. She has 3 kids. She didn't know what she was going to do. It's freezing cold, more froze. I think she might have been in Indiana. And somebody suggested get a plant pot, you know, those clay pots, and you put a candle inside of it, and it causes heat, which was a good thing to know. You know, I don't have any of those plant pots, but I think I'll buy some just to have them, just in cases. Okay. Yeah, somebody asked us, Merrick Garland in danger, and I do. He's not as in danger as Liz Cheney and Anna. I mean, it just feels like you're in danger, boy. That's what I'm getting. I'm feeling like people just really want to fight him. But the information coming out, it would be worse if when anybody, a hair on anyone's head, like I told you about the Irish too. If Russia touched one hair on any Irishman's head, there's a price to pay. But fortunately, Russia said no. Once Putin goes, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with Russia. Okay. Has Nikola Tesla, this is from Terry, has he reincarnated since he's died? And my answer is no. I heard no. I saw a picture of him before he died. He was really thin. And Celia, she said, is there a plan in place where the GP are starting to slowly break away one by one from Trump tardism? I love that name. And I will tell you, it's not one by one. And there are people like even Liz Cheney told you, 5 people have come up to her and said, we totally agree what you're saying, but we can't go there because, we'll be in trouble. But I feel that rats jumping off a ship. That's what I've told you for years. And I feel some other stuff is coming up. Even with Trump yelling and boistering. Remember what Andre said? He said that something was leaving something, because, I don't understand astrology, but something was leaving something. And pretty soon the guy that always got away with things will no longer get away with things. And it's just like back to back to back. And I see them saying that they can't be paying for Trump's legal stuff anymore. He loves this. He loves the fact that everybody's afraid to move unless he says, go, move. So Pence saying that, no, I could not do this. The president is wrong. Huge. But think about it, you guys. You know what a wuss he is. He really had to go there. I mean, God bless him. At least he could have took off. He said he knew if he took off with the FBI, he wouldn't have been able, Secret Service, he wouldn't have been able to come back. They would have kept him. But he went ahead and counted the votes because he knew he had to do it and he had to get it over with. And it really upset him. He found out there was a noose out there for him. So he was upset about that. But I will tell you that he went up there. He still was kind of chicken, he wasn't coming straight up. He even made a comment about, the Democrats don't seem to realize that there's 73 million people who voted for the other side. Yeah, we realize that. And that's why Merrick Garland isn't doing what he could do, because 73 million people thought different. It's not like if Trump lost, let's say he got terrible and only a few red states voted for him. Well, they'd been all over him like a cheap suit. But no, this is definitely going to have to be handled very carefully. So Pence knew by his aides going in and talking to the commission, and he knows that the truth had to be told. He told somebody he's a Christian conservative and Republican. And he's Christian first. So, he knows right from wrong. And he did not say anything. And sometimes spiritually, that's worse. Anybody that wants to be in the free reading drawing, you write to grindle9103@gmail.com. And in the subject, say free reading drawing. And then my sister takes it from there. Well, Dennis, you're saying, will our transitioned loved ones communicate with us even if they've reincarnated? And apparently that's true. Apparently they can talk to us. But it's usually takes hundreds of years sometimes. Sometimes people will reincarnate faster. Some have, especially in this time frame. There's a lot of people I know that were from World War II. I can tell you right now. I can see it on. Especially people with night terrors and stuff. They were, they had gone through tragedy, bombings and stuff like that. But I would say, yes, that they can talk to you because they're that energy, because they're one soul and they can divide themselves. They'll even meet you when you go on the other side and show you their new buddy. And then Australia asked me a question, but I don't know any of your, I've been so worried about myself and my United States of America. I can't answer your questions. You'll have to give me more details or give me the names so I can just blatantly read these names and tell you what the scoop is. And then Jennifer asked, will there ever be term limits for Congress? And I say, yes, it's a few years down the road. But yes, there will be term limits. And there'll be term limits for the Supreme Court. It won't be a lifetime. I don't know why I just got that. But this is many years down the road. You know, our youth is going to save us, you guys. You know, these babies in this world right now, they ain't going to put up with this nonsense. They might even come up with a whole new, no Democrat and no Republican. They're going to come in here and really start changing things. And the people who are in office, you're not going to get your Grassleys in there or your Feinsteins. They're going to get these Jiminy Crickets out of there, and they're going to get in there and start making things happen. I think Biden might want to be one of the oldest presidents to ever serve, and he'll be the last older president to ever serve. Igor Fruman, this is from Tina, a Giuliani associate. Oh, poor Giuliani. Holy cow, he was on that show. He needed the money. He was on The Masked Singer, and people are so furious. How could you bring an insurrectionist, someone who worked against the United States of America? These people don't care. It's all about ratings. They absolutely do not care. They had Sarah Palin on too. And she's, yeah, over my dead body, I get the vaccine. In the meantime, their power in chief, the man they all love, he's vaccinated. So Giuliani, he's just not very well. Okay. So Igor Fruman, the Giuliani associate, pleaded guilty to solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national, gets 1 year in prison in his plea. He admitted soliciting a $1 million from Russian entrepreneur to donate to GOPs in Nevada, Florida, and other states to launch a recreational marijuana business. How will this affect Rudy? Rudy's in so much trouble, it doesn't matter, actually. I'm so sorry. I just feel Rudy's just going down. I'm just going to tell you guys, he was the conductor, him and the tall, whatever her name, the Rottweiler, whatever her name is. They were conductors to this fake, and Trump grabbed it hook, line, and sinker, because Barr tried to tell him, sir, you're going to lose the presidency. You're going to lose. People are tired. They're tired of your complaining. They're tired of this and that. You're going to lose. You can't get rid of Obamacare in the middle of a pandemic. What the heck are you thinking? Snap out of it. And no, and then Rudy comes in with this, oh no, sir, what did he say? I've got like 1,000 death certificate of people who voted, and he lied about everything. And they're in trouble. Fox News is in trouble with that Dominion. I mean, there's so much trouble, even this right now with Igor. But I'll tell you who's in trouble are the states that took money from a foreign entity. That's going to have to be returned. There's something about that too. And all those people with the fake signed their names and said, that's trouble. Trust me, Merrick Garland is on that. Gail said, just some good news about anything. Well, Gail, fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be one thing after the other, and it's not going to be in favor of Trump. We've been so used to seeing him getting away. And the other good news is North Carolina Supreme Court said, no, you can't gerrymander. You're doing this to make things work for your side. I will tell you that, except for Thomas, the Supreme Court will actually, even though they didn't help us before, I do see them going with the flow with making sure that the gerrymandering is cut. And, I see them going with the flow for rights, for voting rights. I really do. Because I know we all get nervous. Oh, Jesus, what are they going to do? No, they're going to actually kind of go with the flow with people, because they know that, I know this is terrible. They know their numbers are hella low. So they just don't want to have to suffer anymore. Oh, somebody wants to be in the drawing. Janet, hi, Linda. Could you please look at Boris Johnson? Yeah, he's in trouble. Janet, if I don't know if you remember, if you look back in the days Boris first got in, and I said his cards were bad. He's in trouble. In fact, when he got COVID, I thought maybe he might cross. He was really sick. He might even be a long hauler. But this having parties when they're telling everybody to be inside and you can't go anywhere, he's in trouble. Look what happened to our governor here in California. He went to the French Laundry to that party. That's like $400 a plate. And people were furious. In the meantime, you're telling everybody they can't go anywhere. Oh, he apologized. He apologized just like Boris did. But I'll tell you, he came close. Well, not close. It was a landslide that he won. But still, it cost the taxpayers $200,000. But he came close to getting kicked out for that. So Anne wrote and said, will any of 45's kids show genuine remorse? And I feel Ivanka. And I feel, remember, she'll go up against her dad. She will testify. She'll throw him under the bus for the sake of her family. But I feel Ivanka thought she was all that in a cup of tea and that she could control him, but she can't. And she's really realizing she's actually mad at Trump for what he's done to the family. I wanted to show this book, Miha Speaks. A wise canin soul. Canaan. You know what I'm talking about. It just took a time because my stomach was hurt. A wise canine soul speaks to humanity. So I'm going to take a look, see at that. And my friend Robert Nelson, he published his wife. I talked to her from the other side, and he was so proud. So he did a book for her. You Can Travel Forever. And it's a book of poems. I'm looking forward to. I had a copy around here and I can't find it. So yeah, people are saying Merrick Garland isn't doing his job. Based on the dream, I will say he is doing his job. This is interesting. Elaine wrote, listen to this, you guys. Hi, Linda. Today I watched a disturbing video on YouTube. It was an RN telling Senator Ron Johnson that all the people dying in hospitals with supposed COVID are really dying from neglect. No, they don't put you in the hospital for neglect. Trust me, I worked with patients with neglected, homeless people. No on that, baby doll. So what else? That new governor, what's his name? Did you guys see that video where that woman in the grocery store said, where's your mask, governor? We all wear masks around here. Where's your mask? And a big guy was trying to manhandle her to tell her, oh, it's a good thing it wasn't me. I would have thrown a fit. You would have had national TV down there. I would have been laid out. You know what I'm saying? He might have even just done this and oh, hell to the yeah. But anyway, sorry, I get all excited. Okay, so I think it's 2:00. So I've been on here for a while. I don't want these things too long because I know you guys start going to sleep. There are some people that said that they actually enjoy listening to my readings when they go to bed because I do put them to sleep. So anyway, I don't know how you deal with it, but okay. So don't forget, we got Tina C 949 area code, and we've got Susie G 818. And I'll be talking to Mel on this Sunday is not Sterling Sunday. Okay, it's the next Sunday. I'm going to be on Nasty Woman's show tomorrow. And I think I'm going to do Mel and I believe Andre at Astrology Alert. He wrote me about it. And then, and Ned's been reaching out to me and I better write to her. She's like, when are we going to do this again? Well, I got my schedule. You know what I'm saying? So the ring that Andre got me, we're not engaged though. He's married. Says, get off your fat, you know what? I've been sitting too long. I think I'll break down and go to the store. Okay, we need groceries. We need vittles in here. Okay, love you all. Talk to you soon. And thank you. The dogs are doing good. And by the way, Jeffrey, it took about 4 days. He's finally feeling better.